Next question. Have you ever scrapped an entire session just because you didn't like how it turned out? And if so, what is the bar you're measuring them by to determine if they're any good? I've scrapped so many sessions throughout the years. I haven't had to do it lately. I've gotten a lot better at it. What I usually do now is I'll do cuts, and whenever I do a cut, I'll drop a save, and then I'll pick up from there, and if I feel like that particular part is not good, then I'll scrap it and try it again. That's how this video is being done. Trust me, these are not take ones. God, I'm terrible at this. But how I determine if they're good enough, if I make mistakes, if I stutter or anything like that, I usually try to cut that out. If I make bad jokes or if I don't talk at all, I cut those out. I do try to keep it entertaining, so if there's nothing going on screen, nobody's talking in the game, and I'm not talking, then I don't think it's entertaining. So I usually cut something like that out. I haven't had to do it lately, like I said, in terms of an entire session, maybe a couple minutes here and there that will get cut, but in terms of entire session, I probably haven't had to do that in like 3 months or so, probably. It has been quite a bit, and that was like one time, and maybe just that one time in the past 6 months. But that day, I shouldn't have been recording at all. I was just not feeling it that day. So that was it. But yes, it has happened, unfortunately. Do you have big plans for the channel nowadays? I don't have that big of plans in terms of new things. It's just really games that I'm looking at in terms of new kind of series or new kinds of videos. I went over that before. We're talking long term here though. Maybe podcasts where I just kind of go over news or something like that. In terms of bad games, maybe bad games, maybe. But that would be kind of a different series altogether. I have thought previously about doing review videos. I'm still open to the idea, but it requires so much work that I don't know if I would be able to do it. And I don't know how often people do see review videos as opposed to Let's Play videos, you know what I mean? So I don't know if I'm going to be getting a benefit out of putting a month into a single video as opposed to something else. And to be honest, it would take me about a month because there's no way in hell I'm doing a review video without playing the game all the way to the end before I start reviewing it. And I do feel that a lot of reviewers, I won't name names or anything like that, mostly because I don't have names, but there have definitely been a few games that I have played where I read a review and I'm like, what, you only play like 10 minutes into the game? What are you talking about? Morrowind in particular. That and Dragon Age Origins. But outside of those kinds of reviews, you know, I would like to add to that, but it is something that I'm looking into way into the future. There are definitely a lot of games that I would love to Let's Play before I start looking into other things that I can do. Next question. Is there something you don't think you'll ever get to do on your channel? Make enough money so I don't have to have any other kind of job. I don't think that's ever going to happen. It's not like it's a goal for me, but that would be fantastic if this was the only thing I had to do in order to make money. But sadly, not even close. I don't think it's ever going to happen. If it did, though, that'd be great. But that's not really the primary purpose. But yeah, that's definitely something I don't think is ever going to happen. Other things I won't be able to get to do on my channel. Animation. I can't draw worth shit at all. So I don't think I'll ever be able to do animation. Maybe I can get somebody that wants to do animation for certain videos that I have done. If you guys are interested in that, feel free to let me know. Any kind of cartooning, any kind of custom thumbnails or anything like that. Hey, I'd be all for that if you guys are willing to do it. But in terms of me actually doing that, that's just not going to happen. Outside of that, nudity. I can't link you guys to porn, playing copyrighted music, even though I know you guys would enjoy it, or at least some of you would enjoy it. None of that's going to be able to happen on the channel, ever. Next question. My sister wants to know, will you please stop calling her? No, not unless the restraining order actually goes through, but that's really a court matter. Either way, leave your family out of this. This is just between you and me. You and me. And also, if you ever need something delivered, I recommend Captain Mao. Next question. Is your closet like a shirt roulette full of nerdiness that explodes on anyone that gets too close? I think I have made my point. I'm Kupo for Kupo Nuts. Next question. Have you ever gotten really discouraged and considered shutting down your channel altogether? I have gotten discouraged. There were definitely a lot of negative comments that I was getting in a short amount of time when I started Morrowind, and that really did discourage me, but I never considered shutting down the channel altogether. That's not really something that I really ever want to do unless my hand is forced and I have to. That's not going to happen, especially when it comes to closing the channel, because if I close the channel, then the entire set of videos is just gone, and I wouldn't want to do that. If I do ever stop Let's Playing, and it's not because of something that YouTube or anybody else is forcing me to do, I will definitely leave the videos up so that people can watch them, but never once crossed my mind to just stop. It never has. And I have gotten some bad comments. So next question. What is the angriest a comment has ever made you? Happiest. The angriest that something has made me is when people actually bring up legitimate things that I'm doing. A lot of times I'll get just people that ask me for outlandish things that are just not possible, complain about that. For Morrowind in particular, I've probably gotten every complaint possible on both sides of every possible thing that I could be doing in that Let's Play. I got complaints about it. One thing in particular that boggles my mind is that one guy was complaining that I wasn't in a high enough resolution for him. They're in 1080p. I can't make it any higher resolution than that and upload it to YouTube. Plus, I don't think they're really making monitors bigger than that, than 1080p. Better than that? I don't know. I don't go shopping for monitors very often, but I imagine that 1080p is still pretty much the standard for highest resolution. They might make something better than that, like a, 1360? Would that be it? Probably. But in terms of the angriest that a comment has ever made me, I have to really think about it. But it's when people say something legitimate that, actually rings true for me. Honestly, it was probably a comment that referenced, I don't know, something about me fanboying over a game. That would probably be it. Probably Xenogears. That was the one that made me the angriest. Happiest, it's one comment that I did get that expressed how much I was helping him go through a tough time. I honestly don't think I should probably mention the guy's name, but it was definitely something that made me very happy, was that I was able to entertain somebody when they were having a hard time. That was the best. Next question. If there was anything you could do over to improve, what would it be, if anything? My first 2,000 videos. The longer away from the videos that I am, the more that I don't like them. So anything before, pretty much I got this beast over here, I don't like right now. I can hear static in the background for damn near everything that I have done before. I know that a lot of times it's cut out and you don't necessarily hear it, but when I look back at the videos now, I can definitely hear the static, and I don't hear it when I have this thing. Audio quality definitely went uphill when I got this, even though I know that it's a little bit hollow sounding right now. Hopefully I can fix that in editing, but chances are not good at that. I'm not a very good editor. But like I said, I'm always looking to improve. As soon as I do make an improvement, I think everything else before that is terrible. Just terrible. Also, you get a free toy. Next question. How much does Dragon Age Origins suck? Now, I never said it sucked. I don't want to be on record saying that it sucked. I think it's a good game. I just think that my experiences with the game don't mesh with the online experiences that I see other people having. Other people seem to act like this is one of the best games of all time, especially when it comes to the plot and the characters, and I really just don't see it. I thought that the game was flawed when it came to gameplay mechanics. Even if the gameplay worked, the tactics worked, and when I played it, they did not. And I have recorded footage to show, hey, the tactics aren't working the way that they're supposed to. Even if those work, I thought the battle system was not very good. But when I started getting into more of the plot and people said that the plot was the best part of the game, I found myself disappointed. And I found myself disappointed because I thought that the plot was pretty basic. It was pretty much, well, I don't want to spoil too much, but how do I phrase this? In terms of RPGs, there are pretty much two plots normally. There's usually the overall plot, and then there's the town-by-town plot. And in Dragon Age Origins, the overall plot was pretty much just get powerful and beat the bad guy. I was expecting twists and turns and all sorts of stuff that just never happened. And the town-to-town plot really never kind of synced with each other. Each town was separate all to itself and had nothing to do with any of the other towns. So I found myself kind of having a different opinion of the game than what I saw online. And when it came to the characters, I just felt like they were pretty basic Dungeons and Dragons characters that anybody could have created. I don't know. I know a lot of people really love the game, so I definitely don't want to say it sucked. It was good. It didn't resonate with me the way that it did with other people. Hopefully I didn't make too many people mad with that. Anyway, next question. Once you're a YouTube millionaire, never going to happen, will you have time for us little people? I don't even remember who you are now. All I know is that there's a giant microphone here. Who are you again? Next question. How much does streaming suck, and tell me why you won't ever do it? So Luke will never make a stream. If I were ever to stream, it would never have him in it. His internet simply can't hold up to streams. But I am not a big fan of streaming anyway. I liken streaming to being at a party, like a college party. Everybody loves it after the fact, but when you're there, it's just not that much fun. When I've gone to streams, especially for the big guys, they really couldn't care less what's going on in the chat. They just kind of look at it every once in a while, and it's just full of spam. I've been to small ones. I've been to big streams. The big streams are even worse. It's just like watching a video on YouTube, but they just don't want to upload it to YouTube. When it comes to the smaller ones, they do actually respond to what's in the chat, and that can be fun to an extent, but what happens a lot of times is that the streamer is watching the chat so much that it's detracting from them actually playing a game. So that's definitely not something that I'm ever really planning on doing. I'm not going to stream. It's just, it doesn't seem like fun for me. And what I've seen from streams is that people don't have fun while they're there, especially when it comes to the 24-hour streams. They don't have fun while they're watching it, and then when they remember it, they'll remember 2 or 3 awesome moments of the stream and forget the freaking 8 to 9 hours in which they just stared at a screen at the guy not doing anything. So streaming, not something I'm planning on doing. Last question from Luke, who's 13. Is there anything about other Let's Players you hate and would never do? Face cams. Face cams. There are pretty much, in my opinion, two reasons to do a face cam. Either you're playing a horror game and you're legitimately scared from it. I see a lot of Let's Players exaggerating that. Just because the screen turned white doesn't mean anyone is scared enough to go run away from their computer and hide under the covers. It just doesn't happen. Those guys are exaggerating. The second reason would be motion games. And I don't have any motion games. Most motion games are terrible. I'm talking about like Kinect or something heavily intensive with the Wii remote when you shake it all the damn time. That would be something that could require a face cam. Outside of that, there's really no good reason to have a face cam. If you want to do a vlog video, do a vlog video. If you want to do gameplay videos, do gameplay. But I don't want to see, I don't know, a full body cam as you're doing Minecraft. Just plain Minecraft. And I can see you sitting on the bed while you do it. That's not fun for me. And I don't know why people do it. In terms of some of the smaller guys, handheld cameras, you know, when they like film the screen, like, hey, watch as I play the TV here. That it never comes out well. And I know there are a couple games that you really don't have a choice. You have to do that for, particularly on the 3DS from what I understand. But really, I do not enjoy it. It feels weird to me. Either you get something to record the screen itself, or I don't know. Just, I don't like handhelds. And we're done with Luke. That's it. Good God, that was a lot of questions. Thank you for all of them. I really do appreciate it. Good Lord. Next question comes from Eustefan88. What is your favorite game of all time? Final Fantasy VII. I love the game, and it's really because of nostalgia. I fully admit that the game definitely has some flaws to it, but it was the first game that I played that really introduced me to the RPG genre, and of course that has become my favorite genre as a result. But I do realize, once again, it has its flaws. I'm definitely not a fanboy of it, but it is my favorite game by far. In terms of other games that I've done that have definitely been up there, you know, Final Fantasy VI, Chrono Trigger, Bastion was the first one that I played for the channel that was new, that I never played before, that I absolutely adored, but still not up to Final Fantasy VII for me, but I absolutely adored playing Bastion. I loved every minute of that music. So good, so memorable. I found myself singing it while I was at work. People looked at me like I was nuts when I told them it was from a video game. Next question that Eustefan88 asks, how many hours do you play? Now, this is something that I do get a lot, especially from other Let's Players. When they find out that I do 2 to 3 videos a day from 6 different games, 5 to 6 different games, 6 right now. But really, I'm only doing about an hour to 2 hours a night. Unless I'm having some sort of difficulty with either my commentary or the game itself. In particular, lately I've been struggling with the last 2 missions of Warcraft. I played for probably around 2.5 to 3 hours trying to get 2 missions done. That was absolutely ridiculous. But normally I try to keep it to just an hour and a half. That's usually around my limit when I start getting a little bit tired, unless I had an excess of sugar that day or something like that. But outside of that, I'm not really playing that much, especially for games that I'm not Let's Playing. I do try, especially on the weekends, to play some games that I just play for fun. No plans on doing it for the channel whatsoever. Games like Hearthstone I've been playing lately since I got a beta key on that. I might do 1 or 2 videos on that at some point, but right now I'm just playing for fun. Trying to play Xenoblade, trying to play... What am I trying to play? New Super Mario Brothers Wii. I'm having a ton of fun playing that. I don't care what anybody says. That game is fun. I did try to play in the past Dungeon Siege 3 and Overlord. Dungeon Siege 3 I just kind of got bored with. Overlord, it turned into a puzzle game that I was not expecting, and I haven't really gone back ever since I found out how intensive of a puzzle game it is. But outside of that, you know, on the weekends I'm probably playing 2-3 hours, maybe during the day. Maybe there are some days when I don't do it, you know, maybe 1 day a week where I get a chance to do that. Outside of that, 1 to 2 hours when I'm actually trying to record. And the last 2 questions today come from Admiral Buttercrust 94. And as a result, I am wearing a t-shirt that nobody's going to understand the reference to, even though Buttercrust should. Damn it, Buttercrust, you better get this one right. He asks, do you ever plan on doing like a special video where you host games to play with your subscribers and just stick around? I think that'd be a cool way to get to know your loyal cult. I don't know how much of a cult I have, and they're definitely not that loyal because none of you has sent me a woman yet. And what else is a cult for if not to get me laid? But in terms of actually playing games and just goofing around with some of the subscribers, I'd love to do that. I just don't think that I play at a time when other people are online, so I don't bother asking. I'm online at the earliest 10 p.m. Pacific time, which means 1 a.m. on the East Coast and 5 or 6 a.m. in England, depending on the time of the year. So it's something that I have thought about doing. If you guys think that you'd be online right around then, feel free to let me know. If it's on the weekends, I might start trying to go into games if you guys add me on Steam, and we could try to hook up a time somewhere around then, and we can have some fun just playing Counter-Strike or Worms or something like that. I think it would be a lot of fun. And maybe I'll record, maybe I won't. If you have a microphone, that's great. If not, that's fine too. We're just trying to have fun there. Next question. Do you think Buttercrust is hot? I personally like his mustache. I plead the fifth. I'm pretty sure that's illegal in this state. I want that noted on the record. I personally like it when he gets into a skin-tight blue suit and starts rolling around all over the place. Check the description. Hey, I actually think there is something that I could link for Buttercrust. Just the one video. But it's definitely worth the time. But with that done, that is all the questions and answers that I have today. Let me know how you thought about the subscriber special, if you think that the vlog video is working out well, and maybe we can start doing some more. I thank you guys once again for sticking with me. I thank you for your continued support, and I hope that the channel will continue to grow and that you do enjoy what I am doing. So, with that done, that's going to do it for this vlog video. I've been ballerscuba. I've been joined, as always, by, I don't know, a couch and a stupid-ass printer. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Hope you laughed. Hope you learned. Hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching.